What's poppin', guys? It's your boy Crix209 back at you guys with another video, and today I bring to you guys part 2 of the Inside the Mind of a Fighter series, Jiu-Jitsu. Now, I wanted to make this video because as I was watching beginner to intermediate players, I started to see a trend of people just being held down on the ground, whether that be because they weren't being able to gain GA, or they weren't throwing punches with the right hands, or they weren't able to set up sweeps for themselves. So I just seen that they were getting dominated on the ground. So I really wanted to make this video to help you guys with some tips on how I avoid being held on the ground like that, as well as gain GA, and as well as some of the sweeps that I use on the ground to be able to reverse my opponent and put myself in a better position to win. So with that being said, we're going to go into the first thing that I have for you guys, and that is the sweep transitions. So I have covered this a little bit on my streams before, and I've gotten a lot of questions on it, is how do you do a sweep into your opponent's half guard? It's real simple. If you see here, if you hold L1 if you're on PlayStation, or hold LB if you're on Xbox, you see that you get the back sitting, the half guard, the back sitting, and the back side as transitions. Now, of course, I have Brian Ortega, so he's going to have all of these, and you're going to be able to hit this sweep with him, as well as any other high-level jiu-jitsu guy like Gilbert Burns, Damian Maya. Anybody that has really good BJJ in real life is going to have these sweeps on the game. So to get this sweep into your opponent's half guard, you're going to want to start your transition to the get up side, so away. So you see we got the rubber guard over here on the left side. So I'm going to go right, and then halfway through I'm going to hold L1 after I start my transition to the right, and it's going to give me the half guard sweep. So I know it probably sounds a little bit confusing, but you're going to see here in a second how that's done. So here we go. So you see I start it, I hold L1, it gives me the half guard sweep, and bam, I sweep my opponent into the half guard. It's real simple. It's real. It's not that difficult to really do once you get the hang of it. But it just takes some getting used to in terms of the timing and stuff like that to really just be able to do that. And it could really be a game changer. Not a lot of people know about this, but this has been around since UFC 2. D-Mart taught me this I believe in UFC 2, UFC 3, and ever since then I've been using it. So shout out to him for that. I really appreciate that. So I'm teaching it to you guys as well. It's a very good thing to have in your arsenal if somebody's trying to hold you down. Now, the second thing that I have for you guys is to gain GA here on the bottom. Now, I have Brian Ortega, so if those of you guys that have been playing the game for a while know that Brian Ortega has rubber guard. Every elite player knows that Brian Ortega has rubber guard, so they're not gonna want to get stuck in rubber guard. So the way that I utilize my jiu-jitsu with somebody like Brian Ortega or anybody is I like to use the down transition. So you see me use this quite a bit. I'll fake down, because if I go for the full guard, they're immediately gonna know that I'm going for rubber guard. So they're gonna be hit to not getting stuck in rubber guard. So if you fake down, it just creates a whole new element for them to be worried about. Now they have to not only worry about you faking down this way, they have to worry about the rubber guard. And if they are flicking and denying late, then you're gonna gain GA. So it's definitely something that I would recommend you guys using, and something that I utilize a lot in my fights, even against elite players. I used it against Death Punch. I've used it against a lot of heavy grapplers to just keep them honest and really just to stall them out, if nothing else. And it can be utilized very, very well. Just utilizing that down transition, and then once you gain enough GA, then you can hit that half guard transition. It'll make it that much faster to do, and then blam, you're in a good position for yourself. So definitely something that I would recommend using. And the other really good thing about flicking down like that is Brian Ortega does have a half guard transition from the bottom transition as well. So if you get your opponent used to you just faking from right here, they'll be like, oh, he's gonna fake, and then one time you don't fake and you go for the half guard sweep, and bam, you get half guard. So it just really puts your opponent in really kind of a predicament where they either have to transition, they're gonna posture up, or it might even stop them from wanting to take you down overall, period. So it's definitely something that is gonna help you mix up your opponent and really get them in situations where they really don't want to be at. So the next thing that I have for you guys is is the undeniable fakes. Now, I know this has been covered by a lot of content creators. I believe Romero covered it, and I've seen a couple of other content creators cover this, but it could be very, very useful in spots. You do not want to use the undeniable fakes every single time you guys get on the ground, because there's a chance you could lose position, and if you mistime it, they could block your transition. Then you're at a big deficit, and against somebody that's an elite level grappler, you don't want to do that. So how you utilize the undeniable fakes is you're going to flick in any direction. Um, you're gonna want to see if you're gonna want to hold L2 and see if there's any advanced transitions, like subs. So Brian Ortega has the triangle choke and the arm bar and the guillotine. So you're gonna want to hold L2 and then flick down, right or up, and then hit L1 as fast as you can. So I'm going to show you guys what it'll look like and a well-timed undeniable fake looks like, and then hopefully you guys will be able to take this into practice mode and be able to master it yourself. So here we go. So that's wrong right there. That's not what it's going to look like, but that's what it's going to look like. You see how my bar didn't fill up at all? That's an undeniable fake. Now, if you didn't see that, go back and rewatch this as many times as you need to see what I'm talking about. So see, there it is again. That's wrong. That's wrong again. That's wrong. See, I'm not getting it every single time because the timing is very strict on it. But then that one's right. So you want to get yourself used to utilizing undeniable fakes when you are in practice mode before you take it on ranked championship. Because if you run into somebody that's a heavy grappler, then it can definitely be a detriment to you if you don't time this out right. So I'm telling you guys, please go into practice mode and really drill this. Do not take this on quick fight or on online championships and think you're going to get this right off the rip. Go and practice this in practice mode. This can really be a game changer. It can help you set up your GA transitions as well, and help you get into better positions for yourself. But the last thing that I have for you guys, and the most important thing that I have for you guys, is punching when you're in somebody's full guard, or when somebody's in your full guard, or when somebody's in your half guard. Very, very important that you punch and elbow. Time it out. The way that I use it is I just punch, take a second, punch, take a second, punch, take a second, punch, take a second. And after a while, you're going to gain GA. But the reason why I take a second in between my punches is to let my stamina rebuild. So that way I can gain GA and still have really good stamina. And as well as mixing that in with your fakes. So I'll fake and then I'll punch, I'll punch, I'll punch, and then I'll fake again, and then I'll punch, and then I'll punch. And after a while, it starts to mix up your opponent if they're just sitting in your guard trying to block a transition and then trying to go for their own GA advantage. You can definitely mix them up that way. So it's really super important that you punch and elbow when somebody's in your full guard, as well as when they're in your half guard as well. When they're in your half guard, you're gonna want to punch. Same thing, punch, wait a second, punch, wait a second, punch, wait a second. Then you can flick half guard, fake, punch, punch, and then you can overall either transition to half guard or go for the sweep. But the one thing that I do not recommend for beginner players or intermediate players, because I've been seeing a lot of people do this, is do not punch with the hand that is on the head, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't do it. So right here, it's going to be my left hand, which would be square. Do not punch with this hand right here. It is a free posture up for your opponent every single time you do it. So do not punch with the hand that's on the head ever. And this includes in half guard as well. So I'm not going to hit triangle here with Brian Ortega, because the more I punch with this hand, he's going to get a free posture up. And then I'm in all sorts of trouble, because not only have I just drained my stamina, if you're inefficient and you're just going like this, you're not only going to have drained your stamina, they're going to posture up and then get a free side control transition. So make sure that you're not hitting with the hand that is on the head. It is very, very important not to do that. A couple of players set up block fakes or set up blocking like that, and that's high level stuff. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but hey, I mean, it's your guys' game, but I wouldn't recommend utilizing the punches to the head with the hand that's on the head. But all right, guys, that is all that I have for you guys in this video. Hopefully these tips that I showed you guys on how I utilize my jiu-jitsu game to get sweeps and to gain GA help you guys out. Let me know in the comment section if any of these tips really helped you guys out and how you guys were able to apply them. And if you guys need me to go more in depth on something that I covered in this video, please feel free to ask me. You can message me on Twitter, message me on my Instagram, message me on PlayStation. I'm more than happy to go over anything that was covered in this video. As well as if you're new to the channel and you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. We do make tutorials like this as well as other UFC 4 content. And make sure you guys slap that like button if you did enjoy this video. Let's get this video up to at least 10 likes and get it thrown in the algorithm on YouTube. So that way more and more people get to see this and it helps more and more players take their game to the next level. But alright guys, until the next video, thank you guys for stopping by. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your guys' day. And I will see you guys later.